Hello everyone, this is our new topic, that is skin integrity. It is a part of a nursing foundation, and in this topic we are going to discuss on the pressure ulcer, their pathology, and we have also a discussion on the risk factor of how a pressure ulcer is developed. So now we are moved to start our topic. Now we are going to look on the skin. Here you see the a portion of the skin, and this is the epidermis from this part to this, and the epidermis have also different types of the layer, different types of layer of the cell. Okay, and this is the dermis from that to that, and the dermis have also different types of tissue layer. Okay, so in the epidermis and dermis, there is a membrane separation. Okay, and they have the separation is known as dermal epidermal junction. Okay, there is a junction between epidermal and dermal. So you can see here, this is a stratum corneum. Okay, this is a stratum corneum, this is stratum lucidum, this is stratum granulosum, this is stratum spinosum. Okay, and this is a melanocytus. Okay, stratum bacillus, these are the bacillus. Okay, melanocytes are, these are the brown cells. Okay, these are the melanocytes. They have a different kind of cells. And in dermis you can see these are the papillae. Okay, these are the papillae, these are the papillary regions, and these are the reticular region. Okay, so in the epidermis, you can see, you can know the epidermis have collagen fibers, collagen cells, and these collagen are formed by fibroblast cells. So fibroblast cell are present in the epidermis region. And you also know that in the epidermis there is no blood vessels, only up to the dermis they have a blood vessels. So blood vessels, nerves are present in the up to the dermis of the skin. Next is the pressure ulcer. So pressure ulcer is also known as a pressure sore, decubitus ulcer, and wet sore. These are the name of other name of the pressure ulcer. And basically pressure ulcer is a impaired skin integrity by unrelieved prolonged pressure on a bony prominence area that leads to pressure ulcer. So the pressure ulcer is produced by prolonged and unreliable pressure on the bony prominent area. Patients who are at risk for development of bed sore, like in old age patient, like old adult, those who experience any trauma, and those patients who have any spinal injury, and have any kind of fracture on the hip area are be fractured, so those patient can at risk on bed sore. Okay, long time bedridden patient can also very prone to develop bed sore, and diabetic patient have also have chances, more chances to develop a bed sore. Now we see the pathology of pressure ulcer. There are three pressure related factors that leads to develop a pressure ulcer. First is the pressure intensity, second is the pressure duration, third is the tissue tolerance. Okay, one by one we are deal these pressure related factors. Okay, so first is the pressure intensity. When as you know, the capillary have normal pressure is 15 to 32 mmHg. If it is exceed from this pressure, okay, if the pressure is exceed from this normal pressure, the blood capillary are pressed, and the blood is stopped due to this pressure, and capillary are occluded by this pressure, and that leads to tissue ischemia. Tissue ischemia is a local cell death that the supply of the oxygen and nutrition are not be proper to that part where the pressure is more than a normal capillary pressure. So the tissue and the cell are going to cyanosis. Their color is going to change into blue. Okay. And if a person has reduced sensation over that area and uncontrolled discomfort of ischemia, that leads to tissue death, and that is known as necrosis. Okay, you understand? If the pressure intensity is more than to the 15 to 30 mmHg, that leads to tissue ischemia. Okay, the cell of that area is turned into bluish color. And if the patient have no sensation on that area, on where the pressure is applied, and patient does not feel any uncomfortable on that area, that lead into the tissue death of that particular bony prominence area. Second one is the pressure duration. Like if a long duration pressure for a low intensity, like if a low intensity pressure for a long duration and a high intensity pressure for a short duration, these both are dangerous for development of intestine. Okay, if a pressure is applied on a bony prominence area is very low, and that pressure for maintained for very long time, that leads to a pressure ulcer. And a pressure whose intensity is very more, okay, the intensity is very high, and this pressure is only for a short time period, that can leads to pressure ulcer. Okay, extended this extended pressure occlude the blood flow. Okay, that's way the nutrition and oxygen are not be reached on that part, and that lead to cell death. Third one is the tissue tolerance. Like the ability of a tissue to tolerate a painful pressure depend upon the integrity of tissue and their supporting structure. Okay, the the type of tissue that support that area, and also the integrity of tissue defining the tolerance of that particular area. Okay, if the greater degree of any factor like shear, friction and moisture, they affect the ability of skin. Okay, they affect the integrity of the skin, and they result into the pressure ulcer. If like they have a more degree of shear force, and for high degree they are shared by any force, they have a shared force on a particular area, that leads to develop a pressure ulcer. Okay, and second factor is the related to tissue tolerance is the ability of underlying skin structures like blood vessels and collagen to redistribute the pressure. Okay, so second factor is related to the underlying skin structure, like blood vessels, how many blood vessels are present on that bony prominence area, and how many collagen fibers are present in dermis. They are help to redistribute the pressure that is produced by external. Okay, that is produced, the pressure is produced on the blood vessels. Okay, so these components, these structures, skin structure can redistribute the pressure. Next topic is the risk factor that leads to develop pressure ulcer. First is the impaired sensory perceptions, like a patient who is unable to sense any kind of impulse, that also can lead to develop pressure ulcer. Second is the impaired mobility, like a patient cannot move their body from in the bed. Okay, they able to turn their body, like in obese patient, they are not able to move their extremities, so that can leads to develop a pressure ulcer. Alternation of alternation level of consciousness means a patient is confused and having any mental disorder, that can also be lead to develop a pressure ulcer. Okay, And fourth is the shear force is the sliding movement of skin and subcutaneous tissue while underlying muscles and bone are stationary. So in this condition, when a patient are going to move the on the bed, their skin and subcutaneous tissue are moved on, and on that time their muscles and bones are stationary. So that can leads to develop skin impaired. Okay, the skin on that area are broken, and that can lead to bed sore. Fifth is the friction. The friction can affect the epidermis, that is the topmost layer of the skin, and it is also known as sheet burn. Sixth is the moisture. If a continue moisture are if a patient are exposed in a continuous moisture, that leads to softening of the tissue, that area where the continue moisture are present, the on that area the tissue are soft. Okay, and soft tissue are at high risk mm, to go into pressure ulcer, to change into pressure ulcer. Thank you. I hope you understand the lecture. This is all about the development of the pressures. Okay, in next video we are going to see the stages of pressure ulcers, and we have discussion on wound types and their repairment. Okay, so keep watching my video.